Hey guys, welcome back. It's Carrie. It is a cold, snowy day here in Ohio, so I thought I'd share with you a tried and true survival technique that cavers all over the world use to stay warm. Now, as we know, a cave is a really isolated environment. If you find yourself in a survival situation, you only have what you brought in with you. This is a lot different than being above ground and having the resources to make fire, shelter, or to even find food. So you rely on what's in your pack. So today, I'm going to show you guys a way to keep yourself warm, and the items that we use are multi-use and only add a few extra ounces to your pack. It's called a Palmer furnace. So we have found ourselves in a survival situation. Leah here has broken her leg. Again. What can you say? It just happens with this one, all right? But here's the thing, is that we're trapped in a cave. We can't get her out with her broken leg. Now say I've stabilized the injury. In a cave, the next thing I am concerned about is hypothermia setting in. I want to keep her warm. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that she is insulated from the ground. I've already done that. She's sitting on pieces of my blue sit pad. My Swago pack is awesome. It has these white pads that line it, but even when I'm backpacking, I carry a Z seat or something like that. So we've got her insulated. I'm not going to have the rock and the mud sucking warmth out of her body that way. So now I want to create kind of a little hot tent for her. So in the bottom of this garbage bag, I've already cut a head hole, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this over her whole body. This is one of the reasons you wanna carry big garbage bags with you. So as we are pulling this over Leah's body, she's gonna tuck her knees up into it. I promise we're not suffocating her. All right, squeeze in there, squeeze in there. Can you see?
Yeah.
Does this already feel like it would warm you up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this alone with just the garbage bag can be really awesome. But we want to go one step further, right? We are trying to warm her up and prevent an even worse situation. This sounds counterintuitive, but we're going to add fire.
You're putting fire inside here?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I should note that she didn't know what she was volunteering for when I asked her to hang out with me today.
Will you pull my hat down over my ears? Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I love you. So we want to get a little extra heat in there. It's very common for cavers to carry a candle in their bag. Like I said, we're not above ground. We don't have twigs and leaves and fallen logs to start a fire. If we want heat, we have to carry it with us. Now I'm going to stop here and talk about candles for a second. A caver I know was stuck in a cave in Indiana for about 40 hours in 2016, and it even made national news. Palmer furnaces were a huge part of her and her party's survival strategy, but one thing she really stressed in rescue trainings after the event is that tea light candles are not your friend. Again, in a cave, you are putting your life in the hands of whatever you've carried in your pack, so carry something that's going to burn a little bit longer than a tea candle. She says that she now carries a few votive candles, but I know cavers who will carry federals or tapers, which are those stick candles, and they'll cut them in half to make space in their pack. Right now, I have some Yuko brand candles that I have for my candle lantern, and so I'm just going to use one of those. But the nice thing about this is you can literally stick it in the mud or hold it between your legs. It's far enough away from the bag that it's not going to start the bag on fire, and as long as you're awake, this is a great way to add warmth. We're gonna let Leah sit in here and warm up for a couple minutes, but a couple considerations with the Palmer furnace are that you don't wanna sleep with the candle on. So if you are falling asleep, that's time to put the candle out. You also don't wanna put your head in there because you are creating fumes that are not good. So keep your head out. Even if you don't have the candle going, you don't wanna suffocate yourself inside the plastic. Another thing to take note of is that this is a survival technique best used if you're already wet and cold. If you're dry and cold and you have a way to warm up, like starting a fire or something, you want to do that first, because in the Palmer furnace, you are going to sweat. But if you are cold, wet, and have no other way of warming up, this is going to do the job for you fast, getting you warm enough that you can start thinking about your next step, which is either hunkering down or getting out of there. So if you can take me seriously in this plastic suit, I'll tell you a couple variations on the Palmer furnace. The first is the double layer Palmer furnace. If you have two bags, you might as well make both of them do some work for you. Pop a second bag over the first, you've got a thin layer of insulation, thin layer of air, that's just giving you more insulative power. My favorite variation that involves the full Palmer furnace is also the space blanket Palmer furnace, where you wrap yourself in a space blanket and then the Palmer furnace. And then the third is the one that I use the most often because it's the proactive, or what I like to call the active wear Palmer furnace. So you use this in a situation where you're not quite freezing cold yet, but you know it's unavoidable. So I've used it if I've fallen into a really cold cave stream and my core is wet, or last year I used it when we got flooded in. So this is like the Palmer furnace shirt. Everything is the same except you don't stop what you're doing and you make yourself some armholes. So you're essentially wearing a garbage bag shirt under your clothes and you keep doing what you're doing. So like last year we were full on glamping. We had air mattresses, twinkle lights, all the things, and we were in a little shack down at this preserve in Kentucky. We woke up, we were flooded in, and I thought, you know what? Our car's on the other side. If we can get over this creek, we can get out. So I donned myself a Palmer furnace shirt, knowing that I was inevitably going to fall into this 30-degree water. And I grabbed the straw broom from the shack that we were in, and I started, ferrying all our stuff across this raging creek using my air mattress as a raft. That was a good time. Also, you sent me that video today. My favorite part is I'm like,
Dude, I caught that Eddie flawlessly. That was like some real technique. I'm so happy. You see me catch that, Eddie? Sure did, buddy. Sure did.
I know that for some people, a garbage bag seems like something extra to carry, but a lot of people are already carrying them for a multitude of reasons, whether it's emergency shelter, waterproofing your gear. People can even use them to melt snow in the winter. So to me, for the amount of space that they take up and the fact that they're only adding a few ounces, having the supplies of a Palmer furnace is just really invaluable. And not only do I carry it caving, but I pretty much always have it whether I'm on the river or backpacking or anything else. So let me know in the comments, have you guys ever used a Palmer furnace? Or if you haven't, are you planning to? How do you plan to use this in your life? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Ah!
This is a look.
This is what being born feels like. Contain yourself. Okay. I feel really contained right now. I mean, I knew we were dirtbags, but like,
We're literal garbage.
literally garbage. I hope somebody finds this in here and we're both just caught up and somebody smacks the top of a Palmer furnace. This bad boy can hold so many scared cavers.